Greetings and welcome to the Dakota County Star Podcast, the weekly podcast of the Dakota County Star newspaper published in South Sioux City, Nebraska. I'm Mike Carnes, publisher of the Dakota County Star and your host for our weekly podcast where we talk about what's going on in South Sioux City and the rest of Dakota County, highlight what is in this week's edition of the Dakota County Star, and discuss whatever other issues happen to be bouncing around inside that space between my ears. The Dakota County Star podcast is sponsored by Maricela Morales, your Aflac Bilingual Benefits Advisor, located in Dakota Dunes, South Dakota. Give her a call at 712-259-6580. And now, time to launch the rockets and blast off with another edition of the Dakota County Star Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings and welcome to the Dakota County Star Podcast here on DakCoStar.com. I am your host, Mike Carnes, and this week, kind of a delay in this week's podcast because we were at the state cross-country meet on Friday, and we thought, well, since we're down there, let's try to get comments from all four of the coaches from our participating schools. And so we were able to contact a couple of them there on site, did a couple of interviews on the phone, and we are able to sit down and chat with all four coaches. We talked with Ponca coach Corey Pfister. The Ponca girls made it to state for the first time. They had a boy running as well. Homer coach Aaron Saskey, his boys made it down to the state meet this year as a team. Tri-County Northeast coach Dave Oldrick, he had two individual runners at the state meet. And South Sioux City coach Sean Fitzsimmons, the South Sioux City boys down at state as well. And we were able to contact all four of them. And so we're going to take a quick time out here, and when we come back, we will go through the lineup there and talk to each of the coaches and see how their kids did at the state cross-country meet in Kearney this past week. We'll have all that and more coming up on this week's edition of the Dakota County Star Podcast, along with a preview of this week's paper. We'll do that after this time out here on DakCoStar.com. Back to the podcast in just a moment, but first I want to tell you about Maricela Morales. She's your local Aflac Bilingual Benefits Advisor, and she can help your small business provide benefits to your employees at no cost to your business. If you want more information, give her a call at 712-259-6580, and she can get you all the details. There's no obligation, and she can answer all your questions. So give Maricela Morales a call at 712-259-6580, your Aflac Bilingual Benefits Advisor in Dakota Dunes, South Dakota. We're here at the State Cross Country Championships in Kearney, and with me here is Corey Pfister, the coach of the Ponca Indians. The Ponca Indians had boys individual and a girls team down here for state, and came away with the state medal with Ava Brennan getting a medal. Coach, talk about the kids' efforts today overall.
Overall, the girls as a team ran really, really well. Everyone improved. We had some times from last year that we've been working back for, some from injuries and things. Ava ran lights out with a 1950. She didn't get as much recognition maybe as we were maybe thinking throughout the season, but we kind of focused on running her race, her pace, not striving to be someone else and getting pulled out of her comfort zone. And today she did an awesome job. She came across about the 1.2 mark where she was sitting second, and I was like, all right, what are we going to do? Let's do it, loosen up a little bit, drop your shoulders, relax. And she carried that for the next, 2 miles, and I'm so proud of her. She did absolutely amazing. We have one senior, Addie Kitka, graduated, insanely good person, great team leader, can't replace her. I'm going to miss her like crazy, and she ran lights out in today. I'm so proud of how she did. We lose one girl, have quite a bit coming back, and, looking for a couple more to take Addie's spot, and we'll be back again next year.
Addie really came on and ran a really good race all season long for you, too. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about her senior leadership and what she meant to the team.
It's kind of hard to even put into words. Last year I was asking her to go out, give it a try. And it was one of those on a whim, she was going to come out and give it a try. And she had a solid, junior year. She worked hard, and, there's some things that, just fell her way, and she kept on showing up again and again and working hard. In districts, she missed state by one spot last year. And if there was ever anyone's determination after that, it was Addie. Even in those practices where we're saying, okay, let's do this at 75%. Okay, let's build up to an 80. She kind of had one gear, and it was 100. Like, she had that in her mind from last year that she was here to go to state, and she wanted to, end her high school running career on a high note, and she did. Mm-hmm. She did absolutely that. I couldn't be more proud of her.
Going to be really happy with the way this girls team has developed. I know there's been a couple of years here where you had one or two kids out, and now you've got enough to have a team, and you got a boys team, group that's going to be good coming in the years to come. So the program has developed really well here over the last several years.
It's growing. It started, I want to say probably 6 years ago. Everyone remembers Brody Taylor, and it kind of became, the cool thing. Some kids that maybe couldn't find the fit in football or volleyball, and we started getting it out. And, as the kids are coming back from their medals and coming back with the plaques and the state qualifier, plaques and things like that, they're getting more and more kids looking up to them and saying, I want to do that too. And the crazy thing is our kids get along so well. They work together. They're great friends, and I think a lot of the kids see that too and say, I want that. So we have more younger kids coming up that are interested and going to give it a try. And like I said, I plan on both teams being back here in the near future.
Let's talk about Gannon's effort today. He was in the hunt for a top 15 medal. I think ends up getting 20th place, but he ran a really good race today.
He did. Coming off of a couple, good races last year. Came back. Ran a really good conference race, PR'd with a 17:10, and we knew it was going to take something like that to even be in the top 15 here. I think it was like a 17:14 today and ended up at 20th place. He sat 8th through 11th that entire race. Still trying to find that last half mile. That last 800 seems to be kind of the kicker for us, but he has one more year. I know he's determined, and we're going to find that last half mile here, and I guarantee, next year we'll be up there on the stage with everybody else.
And for him to, he's really developed here over the last couple of years too, and hopefully some of the younger kids that are behind here coming up for you can kind of take his lead and keep working to develop too.
Oh, most definitely. We have, besides Gannon, we have a couple new faces that are running with the boys this year, and they've absolutely done a tremendous job. And there's a couple more out there that they're talking to that say, hey, let's go out. We need you. That senior class for next year, this junior class, do have some boys that, if they want to run, they could definitely put together a really, really good team. So that's kind of our goal. Talking to someone, hey, let's go out with a big bang on your senior year. Let's put this team together that we've been talking about and do it. So I think so. Gannon has been working hard, and a couple of the other boys are kind of working on some other ones too. So I hope it works.
Talking with Corey Fifth, the cross-country coach at Ponca High School here on the Dakota County Star podcast. Coach, congratulations on getting a team down here to state and getting some kids down here, and hopefully we can be back here next year.
Absolutely. Love to see you. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot. On the Dakota County Star podcast with Homer cross-country coach Aaron Saskey, and the Homer Knights sent the boys down to the state meet in Kearney on Friday in Class D, and came away on the bottom third of the team standings there. But I'm talking with some of the coaches that I've talked to, Aaron. That Class D race, both the girls and the boys races, there are really some talented kids running in that Class D level.
Yeah, I think you could make an argument that the Class D race for boys and girls was probably just as competitive as the higher classes. If I remember correctly, the Donovan Trumbull kid who won the Class D boys race, I think he had the fastest time between all four divisions, between A through D. Mm-hmm. And then on the girls' side, Avery Arns ran the fastest time ever for a girl down there, Kearney. And then I think there was about 5 or 6 girls after her that ran in the 19s. And then, if I remember it counted correctly, I think there was about another 17 girls that ran in the 20s. So it was obviously a very, very fast day for the state meet, which is good. But the kids had great weather, nice and cool that day, so I kind of expected some fast times.
Well, your kids, I thought ran well. I mean, even though the standings don't exhibit that, but I thought watching your kids run out on the course there, it looked like they all ran pretty well. Yeah,
the boys just go out there and compete. Also, I think they're a little disappointed that they didn't run a little faster. But they got nothing to hang their heads upon, especially the seniors, Aiden, Caden, and Calix. They've put a lot of time into the program the last 4 to 5 years. They helped create the culture and the environment that we have today. And then those 2 freshman boys, Jet and Logan, got to learn from those seniors, and hopefully those boys are ready to repeat and just keep getting better so they can keep carrying that tradition alive.
Yeah, Homer hasn't had cross country very long, about 5 or 6 years. Is that right?
Yep, this was our completion of our 6th year.
6th year.
Yep.
Yeah, and really for a community, a small community like that, to really embrace a sport like cross country, and to have the kind of success that you guys have had particularly the last couple of years, team and individual success. I think that you got to be really proud of what you guys have built there.
Yeah, first of all, the kids are the ones that should get all the praise. They come to work every single day. They start in the summer. Those kids are coming in the month of June, July running. So that way, start of August, we're hopefully in running shape and whatnot. But they definitely put the time in. And then we have a great group of parents that put a lot of time into. They feed our kids every day before the meet or before our meets on Thursdays or Fridays. If that's working concession stands or making donations so the kids can get everything that they need to be successful during the season. We just got a great group of kids and parents that are, willing to give up time to the program to help make it successful.
And then I know that the girls didn't make it this year, but I really think that we need to say something about them too, because you got some really talented athletes in that group of girls there. I know, like Lily Harris was your top runner back this year, and when she goes down with her injury, and you had a couple other girls that got hurt as well, you still was able to win the conference title with a young lineup and maybe a less tested lineup than you would have had if you had your injured kids healthy. I think you got to be really proud of those girls' effort too.
Yeah, same with the senior girls. We have 6 senior girls that were out. 5 of those were state qualifiers last year as a team that finished in the top 10. So also coming into the season, we were thinking some big goals coming in, especially returning all 5 of those to-be seniors this year. And it just shows you that you can't take some things for granted there, where anything can happen. Also, losing Lily Harris off the bat to a hip injury was not obviously a good thing for us. And then our second runner, Jaden Bosquet, she actually had mono the beginning of summer, and then coming back, she ended up getting a stress fracture in her ankle. And then losing Liliana, who was about our 4th or 5th best runner coming in. She had ankle surgery because she had an extra bone in her ankle. So it's something that, you can't really make this stuff kind of up here, and just a lot of bad luck this last year, especially for those 3 girls. But, the 2 other seniors, Tani and Oki, the twins, they had a really good year. They stepped up big time for us to help lead the younger pack. And then we had some younger girls such as Hadley, Ikas, and Natalie Loof, and Izzy Pieper, and then a newcomer, Brooklyn Hightree, who, stepped up big time for us this year to help us, reclaim the Lewis and Clark Conference championship for the girls.
Here, and we're talking with Dave Oldrick, the Tri-County Northeast cross-country coach. Tri-County Northeast had 2 individuals competing in the state cross-country meet with Alejandro Romero and Jude Ridnour competing. And Dave, talk a little bit about how those kids performed Friday. Some pretty nice conditions to run in, and I thought just from what I saw of them running, looked like they ran some pretty good races.
Yeah, Alejandro probably had her best day of the season, even though she didn't hit a season best or career best. She came in 64th in 31 runners, and 22:02, which for her, she's run 4 times at Kearney, and it was her best time on that course by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
Jude finished 80th out of 121, and you can check my count.
Yeah.
10 spots lower than last year, but he ran 5 seconds faster than he ran there last year. So the quality of the boys' field was much better this year.
Yeah, I really thought the Class D boys race particularly was really a lot of good runners in that field. And then the girls as well, that Crofton girl running away with the state title. But that boys' field was pretty tight.
Yeah, and we knew going down there that, a medal was, kind of like a pipe dream. You'd have to run something outrageous that you've never done. So we didn't ask for that. We asked that they either improve in place at the meet or improve their personal time on the course. And they both accomplished that.
All right. Well, you get Jude will be back next year. I know Alejandra, this third time as a state qualifier for her as a senior. That's a nice feather in her cap to qualify 3 times.
Absolutely, and we're proud of them. They put in all the work. The coach just tells them what to do. They do all the work. So, really coaching has nothing to do with it. It's about how much you want to and where you want to go at the end of the year.
Talking with Sean Fitzsimmons, the South Sioux City cross country coach here on the podcast. Coach, kind of a rough day for the South Sioux City boys, bringing home the rear as a team. Looked like it was a tough race out there today.
It was, and unfortunately, I mean, not to start by making excuses, but one of our senior leaders, Melchi Munzambi, he developed the IT band problem. And wasn't able to race, so we had to sub in Angel, who's a great kid, but a 10th grader. With no experience on the course, and that didn't help our chances out there today.
Yeah, I thought as the race got going, Luke looked like he ran pretty well to begin the race. He was in the top 10, I think, that first mile, and looked like he's running pretty well. Yeah,
and that was the game plan, is to get out well that first mile and get themselves roughly in position where they wanted to finish. Kind of was talking to him. He had the sniffles yesterday. I don't know how that... I mean, clearly that didn't make him feel great today, and he started to fade before he even got to the 2-mile mark, and, just happy to get him across the finish line.
And he said Mel was
Melchi, yeah.
What happened there?
Well, he's been battling some lower leg issues. We've been just calling it shin splints, but it could be something else, and he's been battling that all season long too. And then, unfortunately, after the district meet last week, it developed into a IT band problem, and where the band was just kind of snapping over the outside of his knee. Couldn't even bike for cross training because that makes it snap across that process, and couldn't quite get him recovered for the meet today. So that was definitely hard when you lose a senior. We had 4 seniors in this group, all amazing young men. Well, I wouldn't be coaching anybody else but those guys. But you take a senior away the day before the state meet, and that's tough to recover from.
It's kind of like losing your starting running back for the big football games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
I guess looking back on the season, though, this has been a good season for the boys team particularly. You guys did very well. Won the conference championship this year. Got 3rd in the districts, and really did a good job of being consistent, and running in a pack in a lot of races, and just really showed a lot of improvement.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that still, arguably, this team is probably the second best team I've ever coached in my 12 years. I was hoping they'd approach that first group with a stellar performance today, but you got to have everybody healthy to do that. You can't take away getting last isn't great at the state meet. Probably doesn't feel very good. But they're still conference champions and state qualifiers. And a lot of them got a really bright track season ahead of them here in the spring.
Yeah, and then you didn't have any girls here at state, but promise for the future.
Yeah,
for the girls.
a few of them made it out. They got here in time, and a few the 3 that made it, they all went and ran the course because they wanted to preview it, and Kayleigh Norton, she's going to come back and be a senior for us next year, and her, Abby Cisneros, and Dulce Alonso, that they all wanted to see the course because they've got hopes and dreams of coming back here next year. And hopefully we're Class B next year, and that improves our chances on that side as well.
And hopefully they'll be continue to work and get some younger girls coming in and
continue to work. They haven't stopped working. They were out here running today. So yeah.
All right. So. Well, Coach, thanks a lot for talking with us, and best of luck for track.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And again, thanks to our cross-country coaches for talking with us here on the Dakota County Star podcast. Great weekend of running for our area runners, and congratulations to all of our area kids on their efforts there at state. We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll tell you what's on this week's edition of the Dakota County Star right after this time out. Got photos? Need photos? Whether you need to transfer old photos or would like a copy of a photo you've seen in our paper, contact the Dakota County Star and we can help you out. The Dakota County Star can turn your old photos into digital images that you can use for everything from posters to scrapbooks. Bring your old prints in and we'll scan them and turn them into high-quality JPEG images that you can use however you see fit. And if you see some great photos in the paper, go to our photo website at mikeycproductions.smugmug.com and you can order prints, digital images, or get your favorite print on a coffee mug. Plenty of options to choose from, and you'll see more than just what was printed in the paper. We offer award-winning photography options that you will enjoy. Whatever your photo needs, stop by the Dakota County Star or look us up on the web at www.datcostar.com.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
And we're back here on the Dakota County Star podcast, and thanks again to our area cross-country coaches for taking time to talk about their team's efforts at the state cross-country meet. Tell you what, the state cross-country meet is really kind of a cool event to go to if you've never been to it before. It's held on the Kearney Country Club golf course, which is right on the campus of the University of Nebraska, Kearney. And every year you see a lot of great action, a lot of great competition. And this year, I really thought, as we talked with some of the coaches, the competition really getting better at every level, and I think Class D especially. You saw some great performances there in Class D. The girl from Crofton running the all-time girls 5,000 meter record there on Friday, and just a lot of great competition in all four classes. But congratulations to all our area kids for participating, qualifying, and participating in the state cross-country meet. It was great to see those kids compete, and we'll have complete coverage in the Dakota County Star next week, and so check that out. As far as this week's Dakota County Star is concerned, for the October 23rd edition, the lead story, of course, the city of South Sioux City is now owner of the Big Ox property that was closed down several years ago. Of course, if you remember that, the stink that created literally in the community of South Sioux City, and ended up costing a lot of people their homes and creating a lot of problems within the community. The city has bought the property for $9.5 million, 28.52 acres that is now in the hands of the city. They intend to sell the property as soon as possible. And so that is kind of the lead story this week. Also, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we have a feature story there that includes Haven House, which is located here in South Sioux City. They're the group that supports those who are dealing with domestic violence and sexual assault, and great work that they do there at Haven House. Also on the front page this week, a South Sioux City teacher elected to the State Science Education Board, Kelly Dilliard, was named treasurer to the NATS Board of Directors for the next 4 years. She's been at the South Sioux City Middle School for a number of years. Also have been teaching at the high school as well. So congratulations to her. Also on the front page, a Sioux City man trying to pick up a 13-year-old girl finds himself in jail, and rightfully so. He's got a court date awaiting him here in the near future. Inside the paper, the South Sioux City High School received a technology donation from Intel and Best Buy in the amount of $20,000, and some information on that. On your opinion page this week, how the federal shutdown is affecting Nebraskans, a column by State Senator Glenn Meyer, and also more accusations on Senator Pete Ricketts' part of what's going on in Washington. My column this week, of course, the spaceman passed away. Ace Frehley, the original lead guitarist for Kiss, passed away recently, and I was a big fan of the band growing up, still a fan of the band to this day, and so just a little thoughts about one of my favorite guitarists, and then also some couple of other thoughts about the situation, the education situation in the state of Iowa, and some comments about the Freedom Ball that was recently held. Pictures on the back page about some fun times at Dakota City Elementary. Some school teachers and administrators getting pies in the face for reasons I'm not really sure why, but they got them, and we got pictures. So pretty cool to see that. Sports page this week. The highlights of the district cross country action, and of course we talked to our coaches in this week's podcast, and so there's details on the district action. Also, the Tri-County Wolfpack, Tri-County Northeast Wolfpack, going the full 5 sets with perennial power Wynot in the Lewis and Clark Conference volleyball finals. Highlights of that matchup there, and my column this week talking about how every game for Nebraska is the next big one, and that we can't, we are not in a position to be complacent as far as that goes. Anniversary honors for the Newells. Chuck and Lois Newell celebrated 70 years of wedded bliss, and a little information about that in the paper this week. Also, the news you really need to know, the legal notices, about 3 or 4 pages worth of that in paper, and also news from our communities here in the area, including Hubbard, Homer, Dakota City, Jackson, and Emerson. All that and more in this week's edition of the Dakota County Star, available on newsstands as we speak. And of course, since we're kind of late with this week's podcast, we're already putting together the edition that will be coming up here in a couple days. So make sure you get this copy while you still can, and then a couple days later pick up the copy of the next edition, which will be up on newsstands on Wednesday afternoon and going out to mail. And if you're a subscriber, you'll get it in the mail on Thursday, or if you're not in the immediate Dakota County area, you'll get it, whenever the post office gets around to it. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Dakota County Star podcast here on DakCoStar.com. Again, thanks to all the cross-country coaches from the area for talking about their team's efforts at state. We'll have another edition of the Dakota County Star podcast coming up in just a few short days right here on DakCoStar.com. Until then, Mike Carnes signing off and saying we'll see you later.